Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson reacting to some chatter on Friday regarding the Bears' evaluation of quarterbacks in 2017, points out the Bears never once talked to me. Never once, all caps. That's Deshaun Watson saying that. The Bears never once talked to me. Well, never let facts get in the way of a good story, because here we are. Back in 2017, Deshaun Watson said he spoke to the Bears. Ravens, Chargers on the phone. It's also my understanding they talked to him at the scouting combine. They did talk to him. They did evaluate him. And I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is deliberately misremembering. Look, there are all sorts of reasons why we recall events a certain way. The human mind is imperfect. Sometimes it's just to bolster a desire to go out there and push yourself to a higher level, right? If you constantly use the fact that the Bears took a quarterback other than you and their quarterback stinks and you ended up being good to motivate you to be the best player you can be, so be it. People find motivation in things like that all the time. Chris, this one is just strange. It's unusual, and it's strange to see Deshaun Watson do anything in all caps. He doesn't seem like an all caps kind of guy. He seems very low key, very even keeled. That's what surprised me about this more than anything. More than him being factually wrong 3 years later, which happens, the fact that he's riled up about it. He doesn't seem like a guy who gets riled up about anything.
Well, you know, when Dabo Swinney says, though, he's like a Michael Jordan, that tells you he's got to be some edge to him, certainly, and that winning is important, or, you know, feeling slighted certainly can motivate him. I'm with you, though. Like, Deshaun Watson is, you know, I mean, this is the first time I feel like we've caught him in a little bit of a BS trap, right? Just a little bit. He's never been one to want attention to himself or anything like that. He's one of my favorite players to watch in all of football. He's amazing that way. But, yeah, I think this is a simple case of an athlete just looking for anything to kind of piss themselves off, give them a little chip on their shoulder, just to motivate them. And that's very understandable. That's what does happen. You know, also, you know, I think he probably embellished, because I do know the Bears were doing their due diligence to Deshaun Watson. The one thing I don't know if the Bears did, to where I bet you Deshaun Watson feels a little cheated, is I don't know if they went down and visited Deshaun Watson, did things like that, had a private workout. That I'm pretty sure they did not. And I think probably from that aspect, and the fact that, whoa, they took a guy, Mitchell Trubisky, where, you know, I performed in that same conference at a way higher level for years and years. And Trubisky just is kind of a one-hit wonder in college football. Yeah, I mean, he's probably just feels cheated and pissed off about that in general.
There are people out there who wonder whether or not Deshaun Watson will be the quarterback in Houston for the remainder of his career, or more importantly, for that second contract. And when you see guys like DeAndre Hopkins get traded, you know, I don't know. Until Deshaun Watson signs a second contract, I'm not going to assume that he wants to stay, because, look, Chris, if the starting quarterback's not all in, if the starting quarterback wants out, you got a problem. You got to accommodate him, because your guy who shows up early and stays late and serves as the coach who also plays, who holds teammates accountable and does all the right things, if he doesn't want to be there, you got a problem. And I'm not saying he doesn't. There have been flashes. There have been questions. There was some stuff in the aftermath of the Hopkins trade that made me think, what's up here with Deshaun Watson? And when we see him peel back a little bit and show us that there is a fire that is raging below that very serene surface, I'm not ruling out the possibility he ends up somewhere else. Are you?
Well, I think it's unlikely. You know, I just have a hard time. You know, one, you know, he's already kind of made an imprint on the city of Houston. He's the biggest star in town. I mean, yeah, I know they got James Harden there and everything for the NBA and basketball and all that, but Texas is a football state. Houston's a football city, and Deshaun Watson is a star. I just have a hard time thinking that he won't be there. You know, and Mike, you know, again, I know the Hopkins things happen, but you know, they're doing their best down there to put talent around him. Again, he's got 3 good receivers around him. They're improving their offensive line. They got David Johnson in there. They're making it about Deshaun Watson and his ability to be the quarterback and be successful and carry the team through the offensive side of the ball, a little like we see Mahomes do with Kansas City. So I have a hard time thinking that he'd go somewhere else. I do. I just think he's, you know, these type of marriages don't happen often. Houston would have to be crazy to let him out of the building, and you know, he started something special there. What do you want to say?
If they should reach an impasse at some point in their contract negotiations between now and the point at which the franchise tag would be applied, the Chicago Bears could always make an offer. right? They could put
You're
this
right.
debate to rest once and for all. Couple of first-round draft picks, maybe something more for Deshaun Watson. If Jalen Ramsey is worth 2 1s and a 4, Deshaun Watson is worth at least that much.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.